Breaking news today. 6 drone attacks have occurred in Kyiv this month. For the 6th time since the beginning of May, Russian drones attacked the Ukrainian capital early on a Saturday morning. On Saturday, President Volodymyr Zelensky is scheduled to travel to Rome, where he will reportedly meet with Pope Francis, the Prime Minister of Italy, and other dignitaries. It will be the first high-level visit from the Chinese government since Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered his troops to invade Ukraine nearly 15 months ago, when China plans to send a special envoy to Kyiv on Monday. After the American ambassador accused South Africa of selling weapons to Russia, diplomatic efforts were made to resolve the rift between the two countries. Important new facts: China will send a special envoy to Ukraine and Russia starting on Monday to ease tensions after a weapons dispute involving Russia and the United States. Europe honors Zelensky as the new Charlemagne. Andreas Kluth, all times set. Ukraine recounts victories over Russian troops near battling Bakhmut. As of 8:49 a.m., Zelensky is scheduled to meet with Pope Francis and Italian Prime Minister Mario Meloni. Italian media report that on Saturday morning, the President of Ukraine will arrive in Rome for meetings with high-ranking Italian officials and Pope Francis. Together with Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, he will hold a press conference. Ukraine has not officially confirmed the visit's details out of security concerns. In February, Meloni traveled to Kyiv to meet with Zelensky. At 8:30 a.m. on May 6, Russia launched the 6th drone attack on Kyiv. Russia launched a drone attack on Kyiv early Saturday morning. The city of Kyiv's military administration announced via telegram that the city was under air alert for more than 2 hours due to the 6th air attack since the beginning of May. According to the Ukrainian Air Defense, 21 Iranian Shahed-136-131 were shot down while trying to attack Kyiv from the north and south. The regions of Mykolaiv in the south and Khmelnytsky in the north of Ukraine were also hit. In the past day, the southern city of Kherson and the surrounding areas have been the target of more than 15 strikes using various types of weapons. 2 deaths and 4 injuries have been reported. Discussion of counterattack efforts, 1:30 a.m. According to the State Department, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba spoke on the phone on Friday to discuss the country's counter-offensive preparations. According to a statement released by the department, they discussed how contributions from international partners can support the success of the counter-offensive. 1:10 a.m. South Africa and the United States try to make up over their weapons dispute. After South Africa summoned the American ambassador in protest of his accusation that his country had supplied weapons to Russia, the two countries attempted to make amends. The government in Pretoria claimed that Ambassador Ruben Brigatti admitted that he crossed the line and apologized unreservedly. As a result, South African officials voiced their utter displeasure with his conduct. His claim that his country had supplied Russia with weapons for the Ukrainian conflict was met with silence from both the United States and South Africa. In a tweet posted late on Friday, Brigatti expressed his appreciation for the opportunity to correct any misimpressions left by my public remarks. Putin attempts to prevent emigration from Russia, 6:10 p.m. According to a document released by the Kremlin, the president of Russia wants more to be done to prevent people from leaving the country. Putin invaded Ukraine in 2022, and after his army suffered a series of setbacks, he announced a mobilization, prompting hundreds of thousands to flee. Putin has issued an order stating, "Emigration from Russia has increased because of changed socio-economic conditions and it is necessary to adopt additional financial, social, and other mechanisms to keep human capital and reduce Russian population outflow abroad." 5:04 p.m. Putin and Ramaphosa respond to reports of a South African arms sale. According to the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin discussed the possibility of involving a group of African leaders in discussing the prospects for resolving the war in Ukraine with his South African counterpart Cyril Ramaphosa on Friday. Despite Pretoria's neutral stance on Ukraine, The Kremlin readout on Thursday made no mention of a U.S. claim that South Africa had supplied weapons and ammunition to Russia. Concerns that trade relations with the U.S. would be damaged contributed to the rand falling to a record low against the dollar as a result of the claim. After U.S. Ambassador Ruben Brigatti accused Pretoria of supplying weapons to Russia, the South African government summoned him, and now South Africa's foreign minister plans to bring up the issue with her U.S. counterpart, Antony Blinken. Ukraine points to progress in the area around battling Bakhmut 227. Officials in Kyiv reported that Ukrainian forces had driven back Russian troops in the beleaguered eastern city of Bakhmut. This came as Russia admitted a flurry of attacks along the front line. Ukrainian military spokesman Serhiy Cherevati told Rada TV on Friday that Kremlin troops around Bakhmut, which has been besieged in brutal running battles for almost a year, have pulled back as far as 1.5 kilometers, 0.9 miles, in some areas over the past 24 hours. It was unclear if the increased activity around Bakhmut was part of a counter-offensive by the Ukrainian government. Russia's defense ministry said its troops had withdrawn near a reservoir north of Bakhmut to establish a new defensive line with more favorable conditions.